Okay, I just wanted to do a little show and tell today. Um, if you were born in the United States and you are a U.S. citizen, you were in fact born into slavery. And I don't mean the kind of slavery where someone puts chains on you, and although they do that quite a bit here, um, and they feed you and house you, and then they work you all day and don't ever pay you anything. Not that kind of slavery. You're what's called a free range slave, and it's actually more profitable for the slave management corporation. They actually reap a better profit if you are a free range slave. You are a bonded debt slave, and what that means is uh, your value, your considered value when you are born, is put down on a bond, which is a promise to pay. They say, hey, this guy's going to make this much over his lifetime, and just like anything else in this world, that's a commodity, that's a resource. Um, you can do what's called a kind of a mark-to-market accounting and say, hey, let's just go ahead and, since we know it's going to be this much, let's go ahead and put that on a piece of paper and bond it and sell it, and obviously make money. They want to make money off you any way they can, and just do a little show and tell here. This is a certificate, State of California certificate of title to a motorcycle I own. I don't own it, but I have the right to use it. There that is. Just to get a sense of it. It's on it's bond paper. And you'll notice the consistency of this paper is similar to a dollar bill. I think it's almost got that cotton in it. And then here is a certificate of title to my body. They call it a birth certificate or certificate of live birth. But you'll notice it. I'm not going to show you the part on it. It has all my details, but it's on bond paper also. Okay. And anytime you register something with the state, you're actually handing over ownership title to them, and they give you the right of use. You can actually rent it. So you've been released. You're leased back to the state when the head corporation purchases you. And the hospital that you were birthed in, I think they get, last time I heard, they get like a $3,000 spot fee every time. Nowadays, they issue your birth certificate immediately, and then also give you your indebted slave card, your Social Security, your number, the number of the beast. And we are the beasts of burden. So, a couple things on the certificate of live birth. It's going to have a couple things you're going to want to note. It's got your first, middle, and last name. So when you're birthed, it's like any it's like a maritime product or something that comes in on a ship, because it's international banking law or Admiralty maritime law. So when your mother's water broke, you were birthed, and she came to the dock door, and you came down her birth canal. All these kind of maritime things, these sayings and these words that we just kind of take for granted. But you were birthed. You're an international maritime Admiralty product to be bought and sold. And one thing that's interesting to note too, if you look on the signature where the mother signs, it says patient or other informant. It doesn't say here's where the mother signs, it's just patient or other informant. And then if you notice too, the mother of the child will always have her maiden name on there. And then the father is below that on the very bottom. And of course your dad has a different name than your mother's maiden name. So your mother informed on you, and she's using her maiden name. That makes you an orphan. or bastard child. And I'll get into that later, why that's important. But you're considered an orphan. So what they do is they take your portion of whatever, in the United States or in America, a portion of all the land and everything, and they slice you off your piece of it, and then they put that into a trust, and it's a Sestake trust, and it's a Sestake Act of 1666, which is what they used after the Civil War. In 1666, apparently there was a huge fire in England, and they didn't know who was dead or alive after that, so they kind of the government came in and took everybody's stuff and put it into a trust, and it was kept in that trust and administered by them until you came back and said, hey, I'm alive, hey, I'm still here, give me my stuff back. And the exact same thing happened after the Civil War. The Civil War, the whole country was in turmoil. The Crown Corporation basically won. They got back. They've always had dominion over the slave share. It's just been the whole thing's just been a scam to get us in debt and make us slaves. But so they used the Sestake v. Trust Act of 1666 after the Civil War. They didn't know who was dead or who was alive. So they opened that trust for the people, and that's what the 14th Amendment is about. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But the 14th Amendment was when the black slaves were freed. They were actually swallowed up by the United States of America Corporation. They're under an Emergency War Powers Act. The government was completely shut down, because when South Carolina said, hey, we don't want to be part of this anymore, that should have ended it right there. But it didn't. So they fomented a false flag down there, came in and attacked them and took over, and then which started the whole Civil War. But so the war was really about taking over the whole country, which they did. And what they do when they got you in the Sestake v. Trust, and we are under martial rule or martial law right now. I mean, just look around, and it's called the Lieber Code in General Orders 100, because Congress ended on what's called sine die, without day. So they've never been a deliberative body since then. They've never reconvened. And they actually just came in and started a corporation. They called it the United States. It's a corporation. It's registered in the City of London. It's a Crown Corporation. And but the whole thing is just a way for rich oligarchs to suck money off of us. So, but we have the illusion of being free. But anyway, so the Sestake v. Trust Act. You're considered a minor. You're considered an orphan until you go back. You follow your UCC1 financing statement and claim your property back, which is your trust, which is a I want to make sure I get this right. A foreign situs trust. There's a grantee, a trustee, and a beneficiary. I'm the grantor, and the beneficiary, and we're the creditor. So what they did, because they couldn't be all three parts of a trust, they left us as the trustee and the beneficiary. And so if you go back in and reclaim your trust, you can do what's called banker's acceptance. And because here's the thing, they don't give us real money. Now this is real money. Any kind of a coin. This is a silver 1 ounce coin. That's the money of kings. But they give us slave money, which is slave script. which we can't really ever owe anything off it. It's printed out of nothing. It's basically bullshit, and everything that we buy, we have to register with them. So they own everything anyway. So it's slave script, and they inflate it, they deflate it, the bubble, the this, the that, and they keep you chasing your tail. You're never going to get anywhere with this shit, ever. I mean, I know people that have worked hard their whole lives, retired with a pretty good nest egg, you know, you would think. You know, close to $1 million, maybe a little bit more, $1.5 million. But by the time, I mean, it's a constant headache because you're always wondering what to do with it. Do I leave it in the bank? Do I buy gold? Do I buy silver? Do I buy stocks? I'm losing money every day with inflation. I'm not earning any interest on it. I can't take it out of the country. You know, there's a camera on every street corner. They're watching my emails. They're listening to my phone. And then you're paranoid. You don't know what to do. And then you get sick. And then you know, next thing you know, they got cancer, and that's 250 grand. But they'll get it all by the time it's done anyway. And then when you die, also they're going to get it with the inheritance tax. So the whole thing is just, all we're really here designed to do is just to work, pay the taxes, and produce more slaves. But what you'll notice is I want to get into the Susquehanna V Trust, and that each one of us has an account set up with one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks in the United States. There's 12 of them. And if you look at, you need to get your Social Security card, get it a newer one if you don't have one newer than 1999, 6th of 1999. That's when the third bankruptcy ended. They set up the trust. Now you'll be able to get 10 Social Security cards over your lifetime. And each one, because they hypothecate it 10 times, will have a different, it's called a CUSIP number, an alphanumeric number on the back. It has a letter and an 8-digit number. The 8-digit number refers to the account, and then you correspond that with the Federal Reserve routing number, which you can, you used to be able to get them off the Federal Reserve website, but it has to be one of the routing numbers for cash disbursements. And there's ways to do that. I actually have those numbers. But what works good right now is electronic funds transfer, doing an EFT on a closed checking account, because once you open a checking account, that taps you directly into your Susquehanna V Trust bond account, and you should be able to, since this isn't worth anything, this is a debt note, and everything is basically prepaid. They took all the gold coin and everything out of circulation in 1933, House Joint Resolution 192. And there's another funny thing too about that, because if you read House Joint Resolution 192, it says all persons are required to turn in your gold and receive Federal Reserve notes. And that was a little mind F right there, because a person in a legal dictionary, in a legal sense, is a corporation. So we weren't technically corporations at that point. So they tricked us to trading in our gold coins and our silver coins, because coins were still silver at that time, for this funny money, for this monopoly money. It's bullshit. Everything's paid for. Governments, when you go buy when Japan ships in, 500 Toyotas from Japan, those accounts are settled in gold, believe it or not. It's already paid for. And that's how countries or larger corporations settle their trade, with their trade deficits and things. And they just move their little piles of gold around. So anyway, where was I? Okay, yeah, so they said all persons are required. I caught that the other day. All persons are required. Another thing too, going back to your car title, once you register it with the state, it becomes a state property vehicle. That's why if you don't pay the usage tax every year, Legally, they can come and just tow it out of your yard or off the street, give you a ticket, whatever. And I noticed this too the other day. It's funny because proving that is here in California, you get a little sticker every year that has the year, the month, and the year that you paid up to. It's a different color every year. And you know how state vehicles like police cars or you know the city maintenance vehicles and things, they won't have that. It'll just say on the license plate for official use only, right? So they don't pay that. And I noticed on a little tag peel off deal on the sticker, it said, where I peel it off on the back, it said for official use only. So that tells you right there that it's their vehicle. They claim to own your body, your soul, all your property, everything. So, but there is remedy. If you go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com, we have remedies there that are working, and there's a lot of disinfo out there. But I try to keep it on the low because I don't want people that don't know what they're doing to get themselves in trouble. But I believe everybody just needs to study this information, study everything about what's going on, because until we all wake up to this, we're all just going to be suckers, basically. So what I recommend people do is, if you have some of this, to get out of this and get into real metal. This is real money. Now, obviously, this stuff gets cumbersome to carry around if you have a lot of it. You see that? It's a 1 ounce silver eagle. Now, these are actually considered property of the state because it says U.S. Mint on it. So if they ever did, just like some guy found a whole can of coins in his backyard or something, the government came in and wanted to try and take it because of their coins. But what you can do, you can buy gold bars, and this is just 24 karat 999.9 24 karat gold, 2.5 grams right there. That's worth about 120 bucks today. And if you're interested in doing that and making money doing that and getting some gold for free, go to goldslap.com. Pretty decent company. I've been with them for about 1.5 years. It's just a way, man. We're looking for ways not to be slaves on the plantation. Because if you're a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, you are a black slave with civil rights. Anytime someone gives you a right, it's called civil rights, they can take it away from you. U.S. citizens don't have any constitutional rights. They only have certain benefits and privileges. And one of the benefits and privileges is you get to go to jail to pay your penance, to pay for your indulgences. There's over 60 million, I think, statutes and codes on the books. We don't have a representative form of government. All your representative does is make laws, which cost you money. It's all about money. It's all about paying back the bankruptcy to the bankers. Because in the courts, they're administering for the bankruptcy. And if you get charged, your account gets charged, your straw man gets charged with a statute or code, it's not a matter of if you did it or if you didn't do it. If they charge you, you have to pay. You know, people always say, this is America, man. I'm innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty. And guilty doesn't mean you did it. It has nothing to do with the facts. Guilty means you're gilded. You're going to pay. Here's the bill. Do you understand the charge? Yes, I do. They ask you in court, the judge. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Well, I plead not guilty because I don't think I did it. It's got nothing to do with it. You're in dishonor at that point, and you just screwed yourself. Agree with thine adversary quickly. Always accept the charge based on proof of claim. Conditionally accept. How do you deal with the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service? All they're doing is, they're keeping track of your Sustake trust account because they want to know how much of this you spent. Look at the tax code. I mean, look at the book. It's that big. The IRS tax code, Title 18. I mean, all they want to do is allow you enough money to live on and eat. And if you make any more than that, they want a piece of it. It's like a mafia. It's protection money. But they're just scamming it. All they do, all the United States corporation does, all they have to do is, all they have to sell to the world is us. Everything they do, everything that we do as U.S. citizens, what we manufacture, what we build, everything, they get a cut of. And if you come up with a car that runs on water or free energy for everybody, you know what? They're either going to whack you or they're going to steal it for national security. Because it's not your security, it's their security. And if you start giving away free energy and have cars running on water, which are a reality, that means they're not needed anymore. And the number one thing they make money off is wars. It's called the theater of war because it's all staged. And it's just that's why I'm scared. I'm not really scared, but I'm concerned because most of the people in this country, that's why they're bringing in all the young illegals, because we have an aging population, and they've used up basically all of our equity, and now we're a liability because they have to cut checks for every your little Social Security check now. People want their Social Security check every month, and they don't like paying it. So here comes Homeland Security for your butt. And they're gonna start needle picking you. They're gonna start nitpicking you. Just pick until it's all gone. And when you don't have any more money, and you can't suck another dime out of you, you're done. Go to the camp and die. I mean, they're putting cancer. I don't want to get into it. I mean, fluoride in the water. It sounds innocuous enough, but it's pretty deadly stuff. And when a child comes out of the birth canal of their mother, the first thing they do is hit it with a TB shot. Apparently, you would have to be a 240-pound man to, effectively absorb all the mercury that's in that shot. So they handicap you right out the gate. And anybody that does come out that's smart, that's above average, they steal them. They go to work for the NSA, Black Ops. I mean, look, people, we have to realize that we are under a full-scale attack. It's a war. It's Armageddon. And all I'm doing is I'm out here trying to help people understand this stuff. I've been doing it for the last 10 years. And I go through phases of being burned out on it and stuff. But I don't think it's any more important right now than it ever was, especially right now, to get this information and learn it, because it's going to be your ass if you don't, because they're coming for your straw man. And if you don't know how to use your straw man, or you don't know what the straw man is, you're going to the camps. Are the camps real? I mean, they're telling you they're real right now. They got all these illegal aliens coming in, and that's where they're putting them. I live here in California. I didn't know there was a camp in Murrieta. I had no idea. They don't tell you that stuff. Now you got Homeland Security shooting people on the street at protests. Those are feds, people. They're going to take over your local sheriff office, everything. Because they're the new government. Homeland Security. Patriot Act. Everything. The new Stasi, the new SS. So, get prepared. I mean, get the information before they shut it down. Because I think they're going to. And obviously buy some gold. Don't like hang on to this stuff. I mean, keep enough around to do what you need to do with it. But you always convert this back into that if you need it. That's what I like about Karatbars is because these are in transaction-friendly amounts. It's 1 gram. You can put that in your wallet. Have it. And this stuff doesn't burn up. I mean, the plastic will, but the gold won't. Anyway, go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. I got a whole just information, good information that everyone should know. Know who you are, because you're not your straw man. Anyway, gotta run. Stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks.